Hello. So I'm Bailey Jeremy, and today's Monday, and this is Mindfulness Mondays. So, for those of you who do not know, I'm a podcaster by night, and I am a mental health therapist, marriage and family therapist, multi-systemic therapist, whatever you want to call me, by day. And so today I'm coming to you with a few skills that we teach in our sessions and that I also follow throughout life. And they've really helped. Today's skill, the skill that I want to focus on is radical acceptance. And this skill is in the distress tolerance category. So when things are going bad or you're having a really tough day, utilizing distress tolerance skills can be really important because it can improve the condition within the moment. And so radical acceptance is pretty much what it sounds like. It's being in the moment and acknowledging, let's say you're in pain, acknowledging that you're in pain, but this too shall pass. Acknowledging that you're upset, but your anger or whatever disposition you have right now will not last forever. Even acknowledging if something is going to be, if it's something that you're going to experience for an extended period of time, acknowledging in the moment that this is my life. This is something that I have to accept for an extended period of time. That's still a part of radical acceptance. What radical acceptance is not is convincing yourself that I'm not in pain. Convincing yourself that I am happy. Everything is great. It is okay to not always be happy. It is okay to have a bad day. It is okay. And when we start to really accept reality and radically accept reality, I should say, you'll see that your coping skills and your threshold to cope with things, it expands because you're not actively denying a situation. You're accepting reality. And so this is helpful because sometimes you will encounter situations that are tougher than others. And sometimes you'll encounter situations that you've never experienced before in your life. And if you're actively denying the smaller situations, it'll make coping through a larger, more significant or extreme situation very difficult because maybe you cannot actively deny something larger, like a car accident or an injury. It's some of these things you just can't push under the rug per se. And so it's really important to learn how to accept those things and understand what you can do and explore what tools you can use in the moment or in these situations or in your life if it's something that you have to deal with going forward. So that's the message today. Learning to radically accept things. This is something that I've really had to learn and embrace, especially as a therapist, because oftentimes I'm required and expected to be happy, to not impose my views, my feelings, my personal thoughts onto the families I work with. And I do a great job at it. However, it's a thin line between separating and creating boundaries and then actively denying something. So if you get good at, let's say, dissociating and taking yourself out of a situation, when it's time, when you get in a place, basically like if you're cornered, it'll be 10 times harder for you to really reckon and deal with that situation if you have built a skill of dissociating, especially if you cannot dissociate in that situation. And so I am encouraging and challenging you to begin to practice radical acceptance and notice that self-talk. Like if you are in a situation and you're telling yourself something that is not, catch yourself and say, oh, like, I'm tired. I am tired. And I have one more hour to go. So I need to just get through this hour. Opposed to, you have the energy, you can get through this. It's one thing if you're cheerleading, but it's another thing if you're lying to yourself and just denying reality. So I want you to start to practice radically accepting your reality and implementing that throughout your day so that you can build your skillfulness for those larger events that I won't say they will happen, but there's a high chance they will, whatever it is. And that's not me being negative. That's just me accepting reality. You know, we can't, every single day of our lives, it cannot be perfect. Now, if you have a really great outlook and you find a meaning to every experience, regardless of if you label it good or bad, then you could potentially experience and perceive your life as a great life. And that's something that we want to do. And part of that is accepting reality and finding ways to grow from the reality and cope with the reality. So that's my piece. I hope that this was beneficial, and I will see you next Monday, and you will hear from me Wednesday on the podcast. We interviewed a phenomenal woman. Her name's Shanice Ali, and she's the founder of We Are Phenomenal Women. That's the name of her organization. And the mission is to address domestic violence and also bullying. So tune in to the episode. Peace.